So welcome guys to another design breakdown and review, and today we'll be doing a special breakdown on this birthday design I did for a friend, Ololade, also known as the Canva lady. Alright, so so I'll start with this first artboard. Alright, so I'll be explaining all the elements here and the reasons why I added them here, and I'll also be showing you the layer reveals of this particular design. Right, so without wasting much time, get straight into business. So first and foremost, you would notice at the top of this artboard you have this bullet thingy here. Right, so I downloaded this of pngwing.com. all right, and basically I tell people there is nothing as beautiful as telling a story with your designs. In as much as you're trying to relay a message, you should be able to also weave that design in such a way that is actually telling a lasting story, all right, for whoever is going to be viewing it or whoever is going to be digesting it. All right, so when I saw the pictures, how birthday shoot pictures, I was like, oh wow, this is some really amazing shots, and I really liked it, and it was already giving me the vibe of an action movie already, and I so liked it, the pose and all of that. So big ups to the photographer who did this. I really don't know who the photographer is. If not, I would have given him a special shout out and I would have tagged him in this video, but I really don't know who he is. Whoever he is, big shout out to him. All right, so the pictures made so much sense, and you know, it wasn't just your normal conventional birthday pictures, and I was happy for that. So it's when I saw the pictures, it just gave me this action movie vibe, and I was like, okay, let's roll with it. Right, so I got this particular bullet thingy of PNG Wing, and it was quite tacky, but I just had to use it like that because it was something I needed to get done quickly. Then the next thing you notice is this particular head, right, and this is just a duplicate of this particular picture. I just made it bigger and larger, right? So if you notice some grains, notice the grains on the pictures, grains here on pictures, grains here on that particular silhouette head. So I'll show you how I achieved that. So I had this is what it looks normally, right, enlarged and colored. All right, then what I did was to duplicate this, Control J or Command J for those using the Mac. Then I came to filter, then we'll go to noise, go to add noise. All right, under add noise you can now see the percentage of noise you want to add and the distribution of the noise. So let's say we add this up to like 25% or 30%, then we OK it. Then we change the blend mode to overlay, right? So this is overlay. So that's how I was able to achieve that, right? So yeah, there's that. The next thing we would look at is this particular stuff here. So this is actually not a full-on brush per se. It's a rectangle that the edges were brushed out. So I converted this rectangle to a what do you call it, a smart object, so we're able to see what is going on. So this is the rectangle here alone. All right, so this you notice the edges. All right, so this is the rectangle without the cut out edges. So this is a normal rectangle. So how did I achieve that? All right, normally I would select my brush from here, so I'll come to Windows, window, I'll come down to brushes. All right, under brushes I just select one brush here, select my brush tool here, then look for a brush here that would actually give me what I want. So I could pick any of this. Let's say I pick this brush here. This is not the exact brush I used. I could pick this brush here, then I'll come over this layer here, add the layer mask to it. All right, then over this brush I make sure my flow is at 100%. all right, I come here, clean this, come here, do this, come here, do this, apply the same thing on this other side here, do the same thing. And so there I have it. Then save, Control S or Command S, so it applies there. Then you now have this. So this is not exactly what I did, but works. All right, so yep, so you have the fonts there, happy birthday special agent Olade. All right, so the name of the font is name of this font is Akira Expanded. All right, then the same thing for this font 005. So it had to be a 00 something, so I thought 005 would just work. Yep, so I have this text here: today we celebrate you, incredible talented. So it's one of those things you actually see on my designs. All right, so I added this here, although I'm using a justify alignment, not just your left or right, a justify alignment to get this, so that it's from end to end, side to side. All right, so the next thing I have is the picture of Olade and the shadow. All right, so this shadow I had to make the shadow myself. All right, over picture I duplicated this picture, then made it black, right, made the color black. And what did I do again? I skewed it. All right, so I'm pretty much sure you guys that. So this is the picture, Ctrl J or Command J. All right, so the layer below it, I double click on the layer, then come to color. All right, change the color to black. Okay, then okay it, then I would transform it. All right, Ctrl T or Command T, and I'll right click, then come to distort, click on distort. So make sure it's on the layer that is below it or not this one above. All right, come to distort, then get this down here. All right, this other one so down here. So I'll adjust it in such a way that it makes sense that it's coming from our body. All right, so we have this. All right, so that's that about that. So what will I do next? I would come here, come to my filter gallery, apply some blur, version blur over it. So reduce the blur a little bit. Alright, then okay. Then I would now reduce the opacity. Alright, so there you have that. So it looks now much more realistic. Alright, because light is coming in through here, so a shadow can be here. Okay, so that's that about that. Then the commission date and all of that, her birthday and all of that, that all of that thingy. So then you have a picture here. All right, so this is another variant of the picture that was taken for the birthday. All right, so that's this picture here. Then you notice it's in black and white because of this hue and saturation I applied over the picture. I marked the hue and saturation over the picture, so it's affecting only the picture below it. So the saturation is at -100, meaning there's no picture or there's no color at all. All right, then the blend mode of the picture itself is light color and the opacity is 21%. all right, so I wanted something to be there to actually balance out this particular text here. So I majorly love doing symmetrical balancing when I'm designing. All right, meaning weight on the left equals weight on the right. So that's basically why I had to add this picture here, because it was without this picture it was making this place look so empty, because this was already centered already, this is already on the left, so something should actually be on the right. So that's why I had to add that picture there. And if you notice, there are some scratch and dust you'd notice on the pictures. See this here. All right, so these are scratch and dust textures. All right, if you look at old pictures, you would notice that you see all this scratch and dust on those pictures. All right, like old pictures that were snapped that year. So it's the same texture effect we are trying to replicate on this particular design. All right, so yeah, that's it about that. And I'll do the layers reveal now, so you guys actually see the arrangement and what's actually going on. All right, so once you open your canvas, your initial canvas will definitely be a blank white background. All right? So you have that there, so you start filling in your stuff. So I have my black color, and I'm using a black color here because from the pictures, that's why I'll still go back to the importance of taking very nice pictures, or getting your clients to send you very, very high res nice pictures, because they help you give context and help your concept composition to actually stand out. Do you understand? Because you just be getting so much of the picture. So part of the things I got of this picture, aside from the action movie feel, was also the colors. So on her clothes there's red, there's black, there's brown on her face too. So basically those three colors, and also white, were the colors we used on this particular design. So first off, a black background was what I felt would convey the message better. Then a silhouette of her face, alright. Then the grains I told you about, alright. Then her picture on the side, alright, and the black and white effect over that particular picture alone. Right. Then start having your text: 005, your rectangle, happy birthday, today we celebrate. Those lines I put there. So these lines basically are just elements to just fill up, not that they have a significant importance. Then her picture and the shadow, all right. Then I added some curves adjustment layer. If you look at it, it was looking quite bland, but with this curves adjustment layer, it's it has more depth to it in the shadows and more brightness on the highlights. Right, so this is what is on my curves adjustment layer. This is the treatment here. The highs have this and the lows have this particular stuff. So that's typically what my curves adjustment layer is doing on this particular design. All right, so the next thing I have is my other text too. That's the commission date, which is a birthday, and all of that. Very, very cliche thing to add, but I had to make it work. Then the next thing is this other bullet signs. All right, that's what you have there. Then the next one is the other one here, which I added a Gaussian blur effect to. All right, to give it a form of relative positioning, as when you talk about camera. All right, so the closer something is to you, or the closer the focus of a thing is, all right, the blurrier all other things tend to be. All right, so that's that. Then this stuff I added here is a movie credits I downloaded off pngwings.com. right, so when you go to pngwings.com, you can just type in movie credits to bring this up for you. And the next thing we have is my logo, and to crown it all up, the scratch and dust effect I also downloaded off pngwings. So that's that about the first artboard. So we'll be moving immediately to the second artboard. So the second artboard has a couple of other things going on for it, but it's almost the same application, right? So almost the same application, just some lights and color grade here and there that I applied intentionally. All right, so from TOP we already outlined how we achieved this gradient thingy on the silhouette part of this picture here. All right, so it's just the same thing, same picture, but it's now bigger to just accommodate just her face. All right, so you notice some little other things in there that look like lines. All right, so this is typically just a truss. All right, so I added a truss. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so yeah, this is a picture of a truss I got off pixels.com. Sorry. So the blend mode is soft light, the opacity is 59%. So this is the picture in its normal format, and opacity at 100. This is what picture is. All right, so I masked it over this silhouette part of it. So it is there, but it is not there at the same time. Do you understand? That's what's going on. So you just need to learn how to find that sweet spot where you can keep your your elements together and it works. All right, so that's that. With that, then I have the green also on top of it, then her picture, right, this particular picture, all right, facing this way and turning this way and facing us. All right, then have some lights over her face. All right, I have some lights over her face. So let me explain that out the layers reveal. So the next thing is this same text. All right, I have the same text, then I have this same order of her picture. All right, then I have some light over her face too, if you notice some light over that face there. Then this is a picture from the first stuff. Then pretty much there's no need for shadows here because this place is automatically black because there's a gradient working here. Either there's a gradient working, yeah, there's a gradient working here, so there's really no need because shadows are dark black. So how dark again can you get after black? And this is her happy birthday Akira, her name Ololade, still same Akira. So this basically, this design typically we are trying to make use of one font, then her birthday date. All right, then this is the gradient. This gradient is what I'm applying over this particular down part of it because I want to put some text there. So how do I get my gradient filter? I come to my layer adjustment layer, right, click on it, then you see gradient. All right, so once you click on gradient, it adds a gradient. So you have to now clean off where you don't want the gradient to affect. That is why you now have a mask, then you now paint over that mask with your brush tool. All right, so there we have that, right? Then you have the text 005, then the scratch and dust again all over the stuff. Then on the left side you now have this, all right, with the Canva girl and designer agent already. Then you have a line, then you have don't mess with her, right? So it's just, you know, something I just felt to add. All right, very nice stuff and very nice concept. So we have a 3-picture concept kind of design here. So we'll go over the layers and what's going on then. Yeah, so on this particular one, all right, we have the black background, then we have the silhouette of a face, we have the crane, all right, that's masked over this. All right, then we now have the grains again, which is just a replication of this first silhouette but with grains on it. Next thing we have is a picture, this particular picture. All right, then after that we have what do you call it, the light on her face. Right, red light on her face. Right, so how do we achieve this? You create a new layer, use your brush tool, make sure your brush is set to soft brown brush. All right, and your opacity should be set, say, somewhere around 10%. All right, so create a new layer. This plus, create a new layer. And once you create a new layer, just get your brush, increase your brush, all right, with your open bracket, with your close bracket. All right, then you paint over this, all right, with your red whatever thingy, you paint, then you now come to your blend mode and put it on screen. All right, come to blend mode, select screen. So this is it. All right, so there you have that over there. All right, so the next thing I have is my text, which is going to be directly in front of this stuff because we also have other things added here. Then we now have this a shadow because of this picture. Right, so this picture here should definitely cast a shadow of this particular text, all right, because it's directly in front of it. All right, then the next thing I add is also light on her face, right, at this point. Then the gradient now comes into play. Alright, so every other thing is not going to come on top of this gradient. So when I apply gradients, I also love locking the gradient so that I'm not is not, because by the time you select any other thing when working, you find that you'll be selecting the gradient by mistake, because the gradient works almost on every part of that design, right? So I love locking it. So I just come here and just lock the gradient, so it's not, I'm not tempted to adjust it, or it's not just, you know, wasting my time. So all that things that I add in 005, this one is a stroke. All right, so stroke, you make sure your field is at 0%, then you go to your you right click on that particular layer, and it brings up your layer style, then add your stroke. All right, stroke is just one color, and this is the size, all of that you need to know. Okay, the next thing is to start adding a text, Ololade text, the happy birthday text. All right, the with whatever that happens on that side, then these particular lines, it's just to add effect, not like no it's doing something great there, it's just to, you know, for effect purpose. Then the picture, right, of Olade herself, you know, standing in front of her name, that. So a very, very nice concept from the photographer. I would not lie, I keep on commending him. Then the dates, my logo, then gradient map. So this gradient map is more like the way I color grade. So this is what I'm using to color grade. This is particular color I'm using to color grade. So I have this light red, I have this one that looks like pink, and I have this very, very dark either burgundy or red thingy. So that's basically what my color grading looks like. So and I'm using it with the soft light blend mode and the opacity at 21%. Right, very, very nice stuff. All right, so that's what I have there. So before the color grade, after the color grade, before the color grade, after the color grade. So you see how everything comes together. All right, then the next thing is to add the, what you call it, scratch and dusties from PNG Ring. Then all I do is to add the colors adjustment layer at the top to affect the colors adjustment layer is basically for both the highlights and the shadows, right, to give it that pop. Right, this is before, after. So that's pretty much about this artboard. Then we'll go to the last one. So its last one just has a little kick to it, but it's almost just the same thing. I'm just changing perspective or just tilting a few things. All right, so I'll explain it from what you call the layers review. So this first off is a red background. All right, then I have her face there, then the same outline. Right, I did in the first one, then a black and white effect right over this, right, then her face again with the gradients, then color change. Right, so this was happening, the color change. We just took the what do you call it, the saturation of the master to 39. All right, so the next thing we'll do is to keep on adding so that other elements. So these are picture again. All right, then we now have the texts. Then next thing we'll have is the gradient. All right, because some more text are going to be coming up here. Then Ololade name, that's the font is still Akira. Then happy birthday again, I think still the same Akira. Then this other one still the same Akira. Then her picture, right? These are just shadows before the picture, so these are picture. Then my logo, then what do you call it, a color grading, but this one a different color. So these are the colors I'm using. All right, that is giving me this particular pop. All right, then my curves adjustment layer. All right, then my scratch and dust. All right, that's somewhere here, and basically that's all about this particular design. Yeah, very, very simple, very, very demure. and I always love adding vibrance at the top of all my designs so that my pop comes back. Alright, so very demure design, very nice working stuff. So if you're able to see this tutorial up until this point, then I'm sure you must have gotten value for all you've learned. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.